Hey everybody, how are you doing? I see a few people have joined in watching here. This is again the same session that I did a couple of months ago, or probably a month ago or something, which is about study with me session. So it's a 1 hour session, and we will be working together. So all I need from you guys is to, just get your headphones or whatever. And if you have something to work on, just, start it. We'll set up a timer very soon, and then we can get going from there. Just give me a couple of minutes. Probably will be late by 5 minutes. So it's 10:03 a.m. with me. So maybe by 10 past 10 we can start the session. Meanwhile, I'll post some links and stuff like that. So okay. And then also, those of you who are online on YouTube, if you have any questions about research or anything in general, you can post them in the comments here on YouTube, and I can answer them while we are dealing with some stuff. Okay, so Yadgar, I see you are saying that please give you some comments. I don't know what should I comment on, so that's what I'm saying. If you have any questions, you want my comment on anything, I can comment, but I need to see what should I do because normally these sessions are study with me sessions where everybody sort of work together on their own stuff. It's just that you have like an hour of undisrupted or with no distractions, things that you can work on. But if you want my comments on anything, I will be very happy to do that. Just ask your questions, and I'll be very happy to answer your question. Nikat, would you like to explain this a little bit? What do you mean by achievement test? Is it like a survey or is it secondary data or what is it that you are talking about? Okay, so yes, anytime you get some secondary data, you normally have to check the reliability of it, but it's not necessary to. Let me send you some links, okay? So normally when people are collecting secondary data, what they do is that they use multiple things like inter-rater or observers that can be used as reliability. Sometimes people use different type of external raters or sort of examiners who can look into the quality of the data at different times, or multiple people who look at the same data set and then their answers are matched. Because if let's say you are getting something from a school, right, like a test score from a school, then you should also be interviewing the teachers or headmaster or whoever in that school to see how do they make sure that the test results are valid and they are right. For instance, I teach at University of South Florida. We do have exams and assignments and stuff like this. And what happens with me, like let's say if I grade my students at the end of the semester, there's a department in our university and that takes a sample of the exam scores from my class. I don't know which students' assignments are taken as a sample. And then those assignments are sent to independent people who would grade them. And then those grades are matched with the grades that I have given to my students. And then that's how it's ensured if those scores are good or not good. So everywhere there's a different mechanism of checking the validity, the reliability of the scores. I think what you need to do is just check with that school and see what mechanism do they have. And then you can, as a researcher, put a similar mechanism to check the reliability of secondary data set. All right, so it's already 10:10. What we are going to do is everybody can start working on their stuff. I don't know, I can play some music if you want. If not, maybe we can just play our own music that we like, and then we can start working on some stuff. You can all put a timer. I'll also put a timer, and we will just go undisrupted with, for 1 hour. I'll share my screen. That way you will have a look at what I am working on. And, you know, but if you don't want to look at what I'm working on, you can work on anything of your own choice. Okay, so I see that Yadgar, you have another question, and your question is about what is control variable and what is the difference between control variable and a moderator. Uh, so basically, what happens is when you create a research model, in your research model, there can be a lot of factors that impact the regression or the causal relationships between two variables. Okay. Sometimes what happens is you hypothesize different type of variables that can impact that relationship. Let me go ahead and share my screen, and then I can show you what do I mean by this. You know what? Let's make it easier. All right, so if you see my screen right now, you will see there's a model, okay? And this model, what happens is there are different variables. Let's say if we want to look at how brand love impacts ethical judgment. So this is a relationship, the impact of brand love on judgment. Now, this particular relationship can be impacted by certain variables. For instance, personality traits, right? So personality traits for an individual can be openness, let's say, or how social is one person, or maybe subjective norm, or something like that. Any other variable that may impact this relationship. If you put it as part of your model where you are looking at how that particular variable, let's say if I bring annotation, let's say you create a variable here, A, and you want to see how this A is impacting this relationship. So if it's a planned variable that you put in the model in order to see how it impacts the relationship, then what would happen is you would call it as a moderator. So that is called moderator. Normally, for control variables are all the other variables that can impact your model or the relationships in your model, but you didn't plan them. So, for instance, many people, what they do is they use demographics as control variable, like gender, age, or other things, because we know that gender, age, income, those things do impact the relationship between different variables. We just don't plan them. We just don't use them as a planned variable in the model. So that's the basic difference between control variable and moderator. Why they are important? They are obviously important because if you don't control for certain variables, your relationships might be very skewed or biased. So that's why many researchers control for demographic variables when they are assessing the models. All right, so that would be all what I have to say about what is a control variable and what is a moderator. Okay, so all right, I'm just gonna go and work with my stuff. I'll share my screen, and that way everybody will be. Okay. Okay. All right. So, because we are almost about to, be done with this video, so what I'll do is I can answer some questions. If people have some questions, you can post them in the chat. I'll be happy to answer the questions. Just make sure that give chance to others to ask questions as well. I've already answered some of the questions by some people. So make sure that everybody gets an equal opportunity to ask a question. Um, okay, and then one other thing is that I normally what I'll do is I have uploaded a couple of videos about smart PLS. So those videos are about reflective constructs. I'll be doing a couple of other videos that will be about formative constructs. So keep watching out for those videos. Another thing that maybe some of you know is a series that I've started about M plus. So we did upload one video about M plus in introduction this week on Monday, this coming Monday. We'll do a practical analysis of SEM using M plus. So that will be uploaded next week. But then there are other videos that I'm planning also. There are videos related to case studies. How can we use case studies while teaching? Or how can you write a case study? Some other videos are about qualitative analysis in NVivo. So these are some of the things that I am planning to do in the next couple of weeks. But if you have any ideas, or if you have any uh, if you have any problems that you want me to tackle by inviting somebody, please post them into comments. That way I'll have an idea of what my viewers normally want to watch. I'm also planning to invite a couple of people who can come and talk about systematic literature review or how to write a review paper or stuff like that.
May
Anyways,
may I
yes,
ask you something?
yes, Saran, please go ahead.
Thank you for this session because during these days it's really hard to focus on something, but this session especially is really useful. Thank you. I just want you to do it more often. Maybe the last time you told us that you will do it once a week or twice a week. But if you do that, it's going to be really useful
Yes.
for everyone. And my question is about the videos or online sessions. Are you planning to do an online session or video about how to review a paper as a reviewer? I mean, yeah, I have
Yeah.
some issues about that. That's why I'm asking.
Okay. Let me. Um, okay, so a couple of things. Yes, this type of sessions we can do. What I'll do is actually I'll try to collect the email addresses I did on Facebook, and then those of you who are joining, if you can go to my Facebook and see I posted something a couple of days ago. If you put your email address there, then from going forward, what we can do is either do a Teams meeting every week, one time or two times, or either a Zoom meeting. We don't have to stream it live on Facebook. It's no point. I
Yeah.
just do it because I don't have any other platform. But if I have email addresses, I can do it on Microsoft Teams. That way we can create sort of a club, like a writing club, and then we can meet once or twice a week for 1 hour on Teams or Zoom, and then we just do something of everybody can do something of their own. I think that would be a good idea instead of like streaming it on YouTube. The other thing is how to review papers. So how do we review papers is it's a little difficult because like even now I have around 10, 11 papers sitting on my desk to review. The problem is a blind review. And if I show the paper on social media, showing that this is how I review, then it becomes difficult. What I can do is if anybody wants to volunteer, and send me their complete paper. And if they are willing to let their paper be on social media, I can review that paper live, and then I can show you how do I review paper, like what do I do when I review paper. That can be beneficial for many people who are watching the videos. And then yeah, but if you are doing that, make sure your paper is from consumer behavior or technology and consumer behavior. Technology and employees is also okay. Uh, yeah, so because that's my area, so if I want to review it, better be my area. Otherwise, there's no point of reviewing something
Okay.
outside of it.
Actually, I'm a volunteer about that. I can send you my one of my papers. I'm working on it, and if you can do it, I mean, if as you need a paper, I'm a volunteer. I can send the paper.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, you can send it to me. We can do it like probably next week or sometime. And I think for some of these videos, we can do it on Teams or Zoom. I think that makes more sense because some people have issues with the connection. Or another thing is once we start doing it regularly, I think everybody will understand that the study with me sessions normally are supposed to be quiet sessions where everybody can do their own stuff. You know,
Mhm.
I think if we do it regularly, and people will know that this is what it is. We can set up a time, and then we can just
Yes.
follow the same time and same day every week.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. And then Asim, you said to do some more sessions on PLS SEM. I have multiple videos on PLS SEM on this channel. So if you go back and check, there's a video about why people use PLS. It's a basic one. And then there's also videos about model assessment with PLS SEM. There's videos about higher order models with PLS. There's videos about recent guidelines and standards about PLS Predict. So there are like a lot of videos that if you go on the channel, you will watch, you can see them. So those are available. Um, Kwame, you ask a question, what's my Facebook profile? It's just my name. So if you go to Facebook and write Faizan Ali, you will find it. Um, but I guess my friend limit is 5,000. So I probably am not able to add somebody, but if you go to Facebook Research Beast page, you can follow that because I share everything there as well. Okay. And then yes, some top theories in marketing. I think that may be a little complicated because marketing is a big discipline, and it gets a little difficult. And also remember that marketing has different areas. So there's relationship marketing, there is psychology in marketing, consumer behavior, services marketing, and each of them have different type of theories. So when we say top theories in marketing, this is one problem, like what should we focus on. The other one is I don't think there's any top theory. There's all theories, and then we just talk about them and we use them in different type of cases. So what we can do is we can try to come up with something where I can explain multiple theories from marketing or services marketing rather than calling them top theories. Because again, I don't think any theory is a top theory. If I ask you Maslow's theory of hierarchy, is it a top theory or is it not a top theory? It's very difficult to answer it, right? Technology acceptance model, is it a top theory? Is it not top theory? We don't know. I mean, these are all theories people use. So what we can do is we can try to explain theories. What are the variables, how people use them, how should you use them? But I think we should avoid calling them top theories or weak theories or something like that. And I'm also trying to get somebody on board who can talk about theory building, or what is a theory, how can you contribute in a theory or something like that. So just follow the Research Beast page. It's also available on Instagram. So if you go on Instagram, Research Beast, you will see. So whatever I do, like all this, I do post it on Facebook or Instagram a couple of days before we do it. That way you will know what is being planned and what is coming up. Okay, any other questions? All right, so in the end, before I finish, please, once again, just go to my Facebook and leave your email address there. Uh, yeah, so that way I can. Excuse me. So if you can leave your email
Bless
address
you.
on, thank you. If you can leave your email address on my Facebook post, that way I can, collect the email address and then I can send an invitation for a Teams thing or a Zoom thing. And then we can just continue every week with this type of sessions there, which would help everybody. Right? Okay, guys, thank you for joining. I hope that the session was a bit helpful for all of you and you did finish some work. I did finish one of my work, so I hope that you guys did finish something of your own as well. Thank you very much. Have a good day and stay safe.